Welcome to the National Women's Fitness Academy podcast. We're here to talk about women's health, female hormones, body image, and all things health and fitness.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Women's Fitness Academy podcast. I am your co-host Eldon. I'm also an educator for Women's Fitness Academy, as you probably know by now, and also a binge and body image coach. Today, I am here with a fellow Swede. So you might notice my accent might get a little bit thicker because it tends to happen when I talk to Swedish people. This is someone who haven't even told her this, but when I first got the question to be a podcast host for Women's Fitness Academy, she was actually one of the top people that I put on my list that I wanted to interview. So I am pumped to have her here, and I know that you guys are going to love her just as much as I do. She has quite an extensive resume. I even had to write it down, and I normally never write anything down. She's an author, an entrepreneur, an online running health coach, workshop facilitator, co-host, inventor, if that was the word, co-inventor for Friendcation. She has been on the Swedish version of Survivor and came second, and she is a influencer on Instagram. Joanna, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. That was quite a presentation. Wow. I always get really who are they talking about me when people talk about about my resume and things that I'm doing and my work and everything. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, did I miss anything? I was like, shit, I feel like I got it all, but maybe I'd missed something.
No, I don't think so. Or I don't know. Actually, I don't know. We'll see while we're talking.
We'll run through it again anyway.
Yeah.
So the reason why I want to get her on, like I said before, it's someone that I've, looked up to for a very long time, and one of the first people that I've wanted to interview for this podcast. I also think that you were probably one of the first people that I started following on Instagram. I followed you from when you had, I don't know, 10,000 followers maybe, and now you have 60,000 followers, and you work with some of the biggest brands in Sweden, like H&M, Bjorn Borg, Kia, and your brand has just blown up, really. But for the people who don't know you, who are you?
So I'm Joanna. I'm 35 actually in 3 weeks. So I'm getting old, but I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm getting better as time goes. I'm like a good wine. I'm getting more fine through the years. So I'm really excited about getting older and just to be present in what I do. So I live in Stockholm with my husband. I got married last year. I work full-time with my social medias. I have a network with one of my best friends, Louise. So I'm a co-founder to the network Friendcation. We have about 18,000 women in this network, and we do different events. Yeah, it's growing. We do different events. We do different trips and lectures, and we're just trying to be this safe space for women that want to meet new women and new friends and try to be step out of the box and try new things. So we are that kind of community. And beside that, I wrote a book. I'm a running coach, and I also compete in running myself. I started out with CrossFit, and then I went to this fitness. I had a fitness period. And then I went over to triathlon and did some Ironmans. And then I just decided that running was more my cup of tea. So I combine running with strength lifting right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So that, and then I'm an online coach, just as you, and writer. I had a podcast with one of my friends, Maya. So we did an after workout pod, and we did like 4 seasons, and now we're having a break for that podcast, but we're thinking about to just bring it back to live again. So yeah, that's me.
Wow, amazing. So whenever you go to, like, someone comes to your page, they, like, for me at least, the first thing I think is really confident, independent, like strong boss woman. Have you always been like that, or where do you, like, tell us about that?
I have always been like very me, and always walk my own way. My parents used to say that, like, even when I was just a little girl, I was like, I was always stood up for myself and always stood up for others. When people were bullied in school, I was always on their side, and I was always trying new things and walking my own way, and always like really comfortable with my own company. So like, I wasn't a lonely child, but I was often alone I was riding a lot, and I had my own pony and everything. And I was often like alone in the stables and doing things on my own. And that like kind of like formed me to who I am today. And I'm really like satisfied to be in my own presence, in my own company, and just doing things that I want to try and do things that I love. And if people want to come along and tag along, they are more than welcome. Like, the door is always open. But if people don't want to like me for who I am, and don't want, like, doesn't approve who or what I'm doing, like, okay, well, then the door is over there. You can walk out again. I really don't care. And by the years, that feeling has grown stronger, because I realized, like, I don't have to care. I don't have to be what people want them to be. Like, I don't want to, I don't need to do everything that other people does. Like, I don't like that, and I don't feel comfortable in that. I just want to do what I want to do. And so I just followed my like guts and realized that people who gonna like me for who I am, they're gonna stick around, and other people not. And I don't want to have that kind of people around me. So yeah.
I love that so much. And I think it's such a good role model to have for young girls these days, and especially with social media being so like, look like this and post like that, and like, this is how you should talk to people. And like, it's so nice to have people like yourself who just show up, and like, you don't really, like, of course you care what you look like, but you're also not afraid of posting like a video of you running when you're sweaty, or like a workout video of you getting sweaty in the gym, or like from an angle that's not like perfect, and with perfect lighting and perfect poses and stuff like that. And I think it's really
because that's like the sweaty me. It's also me, the pretty me, when I'm all like fixed up with makeup and nice clothes, and I'm like getting ready. That's also me. But like the girl who, like, today I've been like have this massive period cramps, and I'm just like feeling like shit. And so this woman that's standing in the supermarket, like grabbing chocolate, that's also me. Like, I'm every side, and I'm everything, and I want to be everything. I want to be that and that and that and this and both, and that makes you this complete whole person. And if you can't be everything you are, you're never going to be full, and you're never going to be complete, and you're always going to have this emptiness inside you.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I know that a lot of people, so a lot of the girls who come to Women's Fitness Academy, they struggle with finding their own kind of niche and feeling like they have to fit into a certain mold, and they can only do one thing. So I love that you're saying, like, oh no, I love getting sweaty, and I love running and training in the gym, getting like working out, but I also love getting glammed up and going out, things like fashion and makeup and stuff. And like, you can have both. You don't have to choose.
Absolutely. Like, I'm 35, I'm married, I have this grown-up life, but I still love to party. I still go out. Me and my husband travels around the world. Like I live a life that I want to live. And that makes me happy. And I don't live a life that I should be according to my age.
Yeah. And I think especially in Sweden, it's very much, a lot of people have a lot of judgment and kind of how things should be. Like that's one of the reasons I wanted to live, because I felt like everyone had these molds, and if you didn't fit into the mold, you were weird. So I never really felt like I fit in.
Yeah.
And I love that you're obviously still also Swedish, but you're like, nah, fuck you all. Like I'm gonna do, this is my own path. If you don't want to come along, fine. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of, like, do you get a lot of comments like that from people on social media or like in person, or
yeah, I do. Like now when I got married, the questions about like what's next, what's coming next are like, and all the question about, oh, are you thinking about like getting pregnant, children? I'm like, that's rude. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's your concern. Like, don't care. But it's also like I'm 35, so in people's opinion, I should do this and that, and I should live my life in a certain way, and it's always that you should. I just should do whatever I want to do, what makes me happy, what makes me and my husband happy. We chose each other because we want the same things in life. So what's that to you? But everything is like this path, and everyone should walk this path, and we should do the same thing that others does, because we are still like, the group mentality is, it's, well, we human being, we are thrown to group mentality. And if you go outside the group, the flock, if you step aside that, you're going to be an outcast, an outsider. And that's scary for many people. But still, like, who's the outcast? If you think about it, the one who follows the path and like aren't true to himself, or the one that does whatever he wants to do and makes him happy and just follow their heart and dream. Like, who's the outcast here?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I love that, and I love that analogy as well. How do you think that you just formed this, like, such a strong mentality around this? Because no one, like, everyone's born the same, right? And then we kind of form our opinions and values as we grow older. Like, what did you have, like a role model that was set you on this path, or do you think it was the horses, kind of having that, being so independent with them? Or yeah, I'd love to know.
I often get the question about like, who's your role model in life? And it's kind of boring because I don't have any role model in life. I pick the things that I like in people I meet, or people I read about, and just save them and for myself, and pick them up when I want to like be inspired by anything. But I don't have like one certain role model. Like, so I just like, whenever I meet a person, or I read about a person, or see a person, or hear a podcast, and there's a glimpse of something that I like really get inspired about or really like, I save that, and then I just like carry on. And that like forms, that patches into something that I can always like carry with me, like small quotes or just a memory or anything. So I think like people like that I in some way have been connected with through the years has been inspired to me. And also like, but also I have like, my parents has always been really supportive, and they always been like, yeah, you do that, try that. They don't demand anything from me. They just they just like, as long you're happy, do what you love, and they've just been like this quiet support. And I think that is also really comforting for me, because I don't need like people to share me on. I just need their quiet support, and know that whenever I need it, the people got my back, and whenever the shit hits the fan, I know that I have the support that I need. Yeah. And that's why I try to surround myself with people that are that kind of support to me, and where I can be that kind of support for them. Like, we don't have to talk for weeks, because we have a lot, like people, we work and everything. But whenever, like, if I get a phone call from a friend and like, I need this, can you help me? Absolutely. And that's the kind of relationship I like need and demand from people, and that I really want people to demand from me. This quiet support, and like this, whenever like, yeah, this shit hits the fan, we're gonna be there and we're gonna support each other. Otherwise, you do you.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what you're describing is very rare. I think that a lot of people do rely on a lot of external validation, just to feel like you're describing it like safety, but you're getting your safety because you're securing yourself, first of all, but you also know that these people are there, even if they're not actually saying anything. And that's just like being a really safe person, and it just shows how much growth and how much, wisdom you carry within you, and peace, and all the stuff that makes you who you are, which is amazing.
Thank you.
So you've also written a book that came out, it must have been last year, because we're only in February.
Yeah, in August 22.
What's the book about?
The book is it's my love story to running. It's called All My Steps, and it's I think it's not a book about how you run. It's a book about why you run, and it's about my love story to the running, and the feelings about it, and all the stories and memories attached to running, but also the life before running, and the life during running, and the relationships around it. So it's like a drawn mapping about my life, but through running.
Do you feel like you were much different before you started running to who you are now?
A little bit, yeah. Like, many people, when they are describing running, it's almost like they discovered God. And that is with everything, like yoga, CrossFit, whatever. Like, you can get like really, it can be like really like sectish, like it's a religious cult, and you get like really thrown into it. And like, running is a part of my life, but running isn't my life. I can function without running. I think that day when you start to feel that you can't function without something, whatever it's like, a person, or an addiction of something, like, and running can be an addiction, a relationship can be an addiction. So that day when you start to feel like you can't function if you don't get this, then you are on a like really wrong path in life. And I can function without running. I can live a happy life without running, but running makes my life that I really are happy about and I feel comfortable in. Running makes my life even better. So it's add this little spark in my life that makes me better and makes me want to be better. And running has calmed me down. I run whenever I'm happy, sad, angry, disappointed, stressed. It's my therapy, but it's also something I do to not think, to not feel, to just like shut everything down and just do it. Sometimes I run just to get my workout done. Like I go to the gym or out and I run, and I do it because I need my workout, because I need to move my body. And sometimes I don't want to do it, but I do it because we need to work out. We need to move. Everything can't be this joyful, happy, clappy, I love workouts, yada yada. No, sometimes you just have to do it, and that's running for me as well. And it's not fun every day, and it's really hard some days, and it's really exhausting most of the days. But yeah, I need to do something that I can't control, and running is that for me.
I think it's so interesting that you describe your book as a love story, because now when you're talking about it, that's how I see it for you as well, as your partner. Because you said you can survive without it, but you're very happy when you have it in your life. And that's how how it should be in our relationships as well. Like, we should be able to be happy without that person, but of course, they are the cherry on top. They just add a little bit of extra, but we will be fine without. And I think, like you said, that a lot of people really rely on exercise to have kind of a release, and they need it. They rely on it so much that it becomes an addiction, and that's when it really doesn't get healthy. But I feel like it's very hard in this industry, especially like being coaches and working with a lot of girls, and I don't know if you work with men as well, and they love training, and they're like, I want to do more, and I want to train. I love it so much. And like, when you have those endorphins, it feels amazing, right? It's like, woo, like it's like being on drugs. It's like, whoa, amazing. So it's natural to want to do it more and more and more. But what do you think is like a sign that one of your clients have gotten a bit too much into it, and then you have to kind of pull back a little bit and say, hang on, let's have a few rest days, like see what's the actual reason you want to run here?
That happens a lot. Like, it's really common, and because running can be really addictive to many people. And also, like, the reason why most people start to run is to control the calories and to lose weight, and to use running to some kind of measurements for the weight loss. And then you start to run for the wrong reason. Your why is, well, in the long run, the why is going to be the thing that tears you apart. The why is going to be the thing that makes you feel bad about yourself. So you start to run with the wrong why, and you're going to run towards a result then that doesn't going to fulfill you, because you're never going to be happy, because you don't have the right why. You're going to lose weight, absolutely. That's physiology. Like, you're going to lose weight, but what happens when you lose the weight? What happens when you have your dream goal weight and you still doesn't feel like good about yourself?
Yeah, it's so true. And it really is that you can look at it as a relationship from the other side as well. Like, it basically is like being in an abusive relationship, or like with someone who is not good for you. And it becomes an addiction, because when you're on that cycle of anxiety and like avoidance and anxiety and avoidance, it's like a roller coaster. It's like, when it's good, it's like amazing, and then it gets that massive hit down, and it becomes an addiction. So I think it's so good that there's people out there like you who have really like It should be something that makes you feel better. It shouldn't be something that you do to burn calories. It should be something that you do because you love it, but not something that will get you through the day.
Yeah, because running should be the thing, like the cherry on the top that makes you feel better, but it shouldn't be your whole life. It shouldn't be the thing that makes you go up from bed in the morning. You can't rely your own happiness on something, on a sport or on a person or on food or on alcohol. Like, you need to find that kind of happiness inside yourself. You can't just like put that for someone else to have control over, or for the running to have control over. So you need to like just like sort that thing out for yourself.
What do you feel like is the first step for someone who might be listening to this and they're like, yeah, that's right, I do run because I want to lose weight, I have an obsession with it? Like, what would you say to help these people?
First of all, like, take a step back and just think about like why you are running. Why are I doing this? And what do I want to achieve with this running or this kind of training or whatever? And also just to try to get help, because many people think that I'm going to sort this by myself. I'm going to fix this. I know the answers. But when you're out there struggling and you just like, you're in the dark and you don't know what you're doing, but you're like, oh, I saw on Instagram or on TikTok that, oh, if I run, I'm going to lose weight. And then I saw some other guy that posted on LinkedIn that it's really good to wake up at 5 a.m. To meditate. So I'm going to do that because that's going to make me happy. And then I saw that I need to walk at least 10,000 steps a day because that is good for my health. And then I need to drink green smoothies. And then I need to do this. And then I need to do this. And then I need to, and then what? Are you going to be happy? You just do whatever other people's doing. You just copying other people's happiness for what?
Yeah, and that is so fucking true. You're so bang on. Is I think it is a very, I don't know if it's like a Swedish thing or European thing, but a lot of people that I talk to from Europe, they've been brought up with that mindset of do it yourself, and like you don't need any help. And I think it's very common that we see, like, fuck, I was doing it as well. Like when I was struggling, I would look at every single Instagram page, like listen to every podcast and just take bits and bobs out of everyone's lives and try and like, it worked for them, surely it will work for me. But this is literally what coaches are for, like to help you make a personalized plan for you, not based on what anyone else is doing.
Exactly. Like it's like a puzzle, but the bits and pieces, they are not going to fit because it's your life and it's your puzzle. So how is the other person's puzzles going to fit in your puzzle?
I fucking love that.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, it's so true.
And we are so brought up with like that is shameful and it's weakness to ask for help, and that is so stupid. And I can't understand that. Like it's a brave thing, and I really like respect people that say like, hey, I'm really struggling here. I really wanted to like get better. I really like to become a better version of myself. I really want to like fix these issues that I have through life. Like, can you help me? Because I want to be better. So can you help me to become better? What's weak with that?
Yeah, no, it's so true. I think that, I know for me, and I've seen it in a lot of the girls with binge eating that I talk to, that they feel like they're letting themselves down because they set out on this path to do it themselves, and then they couldn't do it. They realized it's too hard, I'm reaching out, and now they feel like, oh shit, like I actually failed because I didn't do it myself. When in reality, it's not what happened at all. You just took a different turn.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I think we need to all get better at, is reaching out for help, and just also like coaches, collaborating with other coaches. Like I'm very big on that, and like bringing on new people into the industry, like especially like you girls who are studying with us. Like if you are someone who's qualified or almost qualified and you're like, fuck, that girl is doing amazing things, like I need to get her to come and talk to my clients, that's not a competition to you. That's actually making you a better coach because you're giving your clients a better experience.
That's so interesting, because that is so typical Swedish. Like, I have had clients that came to me and like, I really need your help, like straight after the pregnancy, or in like that have other issues like mentally, and I said like, hey, I really want to help you, but I think that this coach is going to be much better for you, or this coach has more experience than I have, this coach is better on this kind of area for this kind of issues or problem, or whatever. So I send them to them, and like, yeah, hey, I will lose income, but I would lose that anyway because I wouldn't do a good job for that client, and I would probably get like a bad review, or maybe in worst case scenario, I would make that kind of situation for that client even worse. And like, people are so afraid to talk about different other coaches, and to collab with other coaches, and to just like, hey, you should talk with that coach, or hey, you should follow that coach, or you should like speak with that guy or that girl because they're really good at, because people are so afraid because, oh, if I tip, vad heter tipsa?
Give something like a tip. Yep, you said it right. Yeah. yeah.
That's
advice,
like something
advice
on a restaurant.
You can give someone like tips or advice.
No, that doesn't sound good either. Well, anyway, if I give a tip about another Instagram account, another Instagram coach, like that girl or guy are really good, I'm not going to lose followers to that coach. It's like sharing is caring, but people are so afraid that's I'm gonna lose followers, or I'm gonna lose the income, and I'm gonna lose my business because I will talk about another coach, or I will collab or whatever. And then it's like so small thinking, and
and like in reality, like it's gonna benefit you in the long run. Like for me, from the other point of view, like if you were a client and you came to a coach and you're like, hey, like I'm really struggling with, I don't know, like gut health problems, for example. And you're like, okay, this person is the person to talk to. I'll be like, thank you so freaking much for not taking me on if you didn't feel qualified.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
If anything is going to benefit you, because your clients are going to have respect for you for saying, I'm not the right person.
Yeah.
So I really want to talk to you about your Friendcation as well. I think this is such a cool concept. And when you first did it, I think I can't remember exactly where you went. Maybe Åre or something, or like some kind of ski place in Sweden.
We've been on like different ski trips in Sweden.
Yeah, maybe it probably wasn't the first one, but I remember I saw it like one of them, and I'm like, wow, that is such a cool idea. How did you guys even invent this?
Well, it started out with like me and Louise. We were talking about this. We want to have like this meeting point on digital, but we also wanted to do like different events and like maybe like a breakfast club or something. and we announced that, and we got like 120 requests for this breakfast, and it wasn't like we're gonna like buy the breakfast for everyone. Like people were paying the breakfast for themselves. We were just like, hey, we're thinking about this network breakfast. Are you up for it? And then we realized like, okay, the urge for like actually meeting people IRL are really huge, and people are quite lonely in their lives. Like you can have a great work, you can have like good amount of friends, but you can still feel lonely in your interests and in your life. So we decided to start Friendcation, and also combine that with marketing and writing and travel that we both love and been working within. And yeah, so we do like this 360 marketing, and we do like different natives, and we sell like ads and do like different collaborations, and yeah.
That is so cool. So how long have you been doing it for, sorry?
5 years.
5 years. So you were doing it during COVID as well?
Yeah, that was that was a bump road, because see, I'm just gonna close someone was calling me here. I don't know.
Busy woman.
I think it's someone wants to get into the door to leave something. So during COVID, we had like 5 or 6 trips booked. We had like a full schedule. We were fully booked, and we had like, okay, we have a great plan, and we have the income through the year is settled, and like, let's roll. And then COVID came, and 0. It was canceled. And like, imagine a whole year gone.
Yeah.
So we gave ourselves 1 week of like weeping. I was laying on the floor and just like feeling sorry about myself, and then after a week we're like, okay, how will we do this? Yeah. So I just, over a night, I started my own online business, and just like changed everything. And then we changed everything for Friendcation, and we were like, okay, we can't travel, we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't. So what can we do? And then we started with like trips within Sweden, different like writing jobs, and just started to try everything we could think of, and for just to get moving, and to not be still in this feeling of that you are losing, you know?
Yeah, I think that's so important. That, like, I think the biggest thing with COVID and lockdown, like, I know it was a while ago now, but a lot of people just felt so lonely, and they just like so disconnected from people. And I think a lot of it, like, I seen a lot of it, like the backlash from it, I guess, with people getting really like, they had all these thoughts coming up during lockdown because they had to sit with themselves, and they couldn't, do all these distractions and train and see people and stuff. And now it's like come up to the surface, and now they just can't put the lid on anymore because it's already up there. So I think that's something that really happened during COVID. But I'm just like, the girls who are coming on these vacations, who, like, what kind of girls is it? Is it like young girls, or is it older, or is it like?
It's girls and women between 20 to 56.
Wow, that's a big age difference.
Yeah. So it can be anyone. It can be a girl from northern Sweden to a girl from Malmö. It can be a girl from Oslo to a women from Jönköping. It can be whoever age and occupation and background. Yeah.
So cool. And so how does it work? Do they all just like stay in the same hotel and then you guys like guide and like be the guides around wherever they're doing, or?
Yeah, so we plan everything and
Yeah.
we do the whole program and all booking, and they stay in the same hotel in the same room. So you share a room with someone you never meet before, and it works really well because like people are open-minded, and there's one kind of people, that a person that wants to go on this trip. They are open for new relationships and with other people, and open for new kind of adventures. So if you are that kind of person, you're not going to be intimidated for sharing a room with someone new. So we do all the program, and so basically you just show up at the airport with your passport and we will take care of you from there.
So amazing. Do you have any plans to come to Bali?
We're thinking about it, like absolutely, but it's like a long journey and it's so much logistic, but I want to go and I want to do something there, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, I love Bali, so it's, I could definitely see myself like be a long term on Bali or in Thailand or somewhere else. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely a good place to live and a lot warmer than Sweden.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about your social media a little bit. So obviously you have a really big following, like 60,000 plus followers. Do you get a lot of like backlash, like a lot of like nasty like trolls, or is it normally like pretty positive?
It's normally really positive. I get like trolls or negative comments 2 times a month, maybe.
Wow, that's good for someone with your following.
Yeah, I think like the vibe you get from my account, it's quickly saying for a new follower that like this is the rules when you're here and you should behave, and I will not tolerate idiots. Like, no, and I will call you out, and I will lift this up, and I will not let that kind of comments or whatever just pass me by, because I will lift them up and I will say to you that this is not okay. And I think that is like this agreement all the people that follows me have, and we like take care of each other. And whenever I get like this negative comments, and it's not like negative, like, oh, you have ugly shoes. Okay, well, you are like it's perfectly okay for you to think that I have ugly shoes, because we all have different tastes. But whenever it's like this, like a really nasty comment or something really, really personal, like, and it's like, or hateful, sometimes I don't need to reply, because other people reply for me, because we got each other's back. And that is the kind of community I want to have, and I want to inspire people to also have in their real life, and not only on social media. That like, you should back other people, you should like stand up for yourself, and you should stand up for whoever. If you see someone get bullied on the subway, speak up. If you see someone get like this aggressive or hateful comments during work, speak up. So that is the kind of attitude and like mindset I want to inspire on my page and to other people to have.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that you give off that vibe of like, these are my boundaries. You don't fucking talk to me in that way. Obviously, there's every now and then there's going to be someone feeling like they really need to voice their opinions about your looks. Does that ever get to you?
Well, sometimes, absolutely. Sometimes it does, and it was like more when I was in this TV show Survivor. Then I got like a lot, because then it's
I
the
can
people.
imagine. It's a huge show in Sweden, guys, like massive. Everyone watches it.
And people are like, they think that they can tell you whatever. They can just like puke out their inner thoughts about another person, and it's okay, because, well, you choose to be on TV, so then it's okay for me to tell you that you are fat, or you're ugly, or you have small boobs, or you shouldn't do that, or you should do that, or you should be more quiet, because like good Christian women's, they are not like you, and like all the kind of shit, like you just like, wow, are we living in 2023 or what? But yeah, like most people, they miss this common sense on social media. Like they can say whatever, and I'm just like, well, you should go back to school.
Yeah, I guess like the thing here for everyone to remember when you are dealing with something like this is that, you know, it's about them. It's never about you. It's something that's triggered inside of them when they see you. But I obviously was not living in Sweden when you were on this show, but I can only imagine, just when I lived in Sweden and this show was on, there was every single week about this people who were on the show and everyone that I hooked up with after the show and the personal life, and oh my god, they got drunk when they went out, crazy. I can. Was there a lot of that stuff, or was it kind of a bit better?
Well, for me, it was absolutely a lot of the stuff, because hey, I was doing a great TV, and I was popular and on this show, and I was for the show for a long time. I went to the finals, so and by me being me, and outspoken, and I didn't tolerate anyone to like treat me like shit. Of course I did some headlines, and of course I was the center of attention, but still, like, well, I'd rather be the center like this. I'd rather be the center of attention for me being me and for me standing up for myself, than being a coward or being like a real shit.
Yeah, 100%. And it just shows how much you believe in your core values and how true you really are to yourself. Like we speak about this all the time with the clients that I have, that, you know, you're the one who's going to go to bed at night, and you're the one who's going to lay on your pillow, listen to your own voice, and like, you know, think about the whole day and have that play in your head. You want to be proud of the choices that you made and what you said to people and how you treated people. And if that upset someone, or if you made a big headline in TV, or, you know, kicked someone off a show, I don't know what happened, then if you feel like that was the right thing to do, then at least you can go to bed and feel good about it at night.
Yeah, exactly. And that is with everything. Like, if you can motivate it for yourself, and as long as you're not like hurt people and are mean with a purpose, like, of course you're going to make people sad sometimes. Of course you're not going to be can't agree with everyone, but then you have to like just know about it and apologize, and then we can go on with our lives as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I just said the time is coming up to almost an hour. Time flies when you're having fun, you know. But I was just thinking about this today when I was doing my beach walk that I do every afternoon, and how many times in the past that I've always, like, I've been in a situation and I've kind of like doubted myself, and you know, because I've been following you for so long, sometimes I think like, okay, what would Joanna do in a situation? Like, would she speak up? Would she say anything? So I want to personally thank you for being such an inspiration to me. And I know that so many of our listeners and followers are going to go onto your page and be like, okay, yeah, we get what she's saying now. So you need to start creating more English content now.
Maybe I should have like subtitles or something. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of, you have so much wisdom, and I think that there's so many people who need to know about you and learn from you. Is your book available in English anywhere?
Not yet, but maybe we'll see. Yeah, they're gonna reprint it, and we'll see if it's gonna be in different languages. But we got some requests, and we'll see. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if people want to hear more after this podcast. They're gonna think like, "Oh my God, that's some shit English."
No. Us Swedish people are always known, like all over the world. They're always like, "Oh, Swedish people are so good at English." Thank you. Consider
But
like compared to other countries, yeah, probably.
Yeah, comparing to others. So yeah, we are quite good actually.
Are you, if people want to get in contact with you, how can they work with you? Can they book you for stuff? What are you available for, basically?
Everything. Oh God, that sounds like an escort service.
No feet pics.
Yeah, no dick pics. Oh, I'm getting dick pics.
What was that?
Like, did you say dick pics?
No, I said feet pics.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can sell my feet. No, I thought you said like dick pics, and it's just like I never get any dick pics.
Oh well, you can.
Never.
I'll send
Never.
you some. I get plenty.
You do? Oh
yes.
No, I never.
Oh, Instagram is terrible for it.
Oh,
maybe because
okay,
being here as well, people are like, "Oh, she's in Bali. She doesn't care."
Well, like basically like for lectures, like workouts, I do like different kind of like workout trips, motivational trips, like everything. Like I'm up for business.
Yes, amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to have an hour chat to me. Guys, I will make sure to link your book and link your blog and link your Instagram in the show notes below. So guys, if you like this episode, make sure you do check out Joanna, send her a message. And as usual, if you like this episode, please take a screenshot, tag myself, tag Joanna, tag Women's Fitness Academy, and let us know what you think. We love connecting with you. And yeah, thank you for listening.